Lucky number 7. A godly number, actually. But what I was going to show you guys is, even though this guy is pretty stout, this is actually an excellent farming opportunity if you're patient, because you can jump over here and he can't even, touch you. And you can just run over here again and again and try to farm up some parts, at least 7 times, presumably. Let's see if he drops another one. Yep, there we go. But yeah, this guy turned out to be very lucrative. I gathered up a ton of health from him. It almost reminds me a little of Adventure Island too. But moving onward, let's check out the first room. Nothing here either. Interesting little tidbit. That water is animated in the US version. The US version is not strictly totally inferior to the Japanese version. I don't want it to seem that way. Although it's kind of cool. It's really cool to see the bosses in their original unedited form. But they actually made a lot of improvements to the US version, such as like palette improvements and graphic improvements, and the music change in the first level, which is partly a result of it being a final version instead of a beta version too. But it's one of those things that's really interesting to compare the two and see all the different little ways that they're different. Let's dispatch Mr. Snakey. And now we can snake rattle and roll on out of here. Whoa. I don't know if I want to try to mess with that. It's kind of unavoidable, huh? I want to see if I can get this thing just to see what it'll drop. Okay, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't another one of those enemies that takes like 1,000,000 hits to kill. Dang. Let's try that again with hopefully less death this time. Anyway, it's lucrative to get that, because may need it for a boss fight. Nothing here either. I guess not. Ah, now I've got an upgraded shot. Oh, that reminds me of something interesting. So something that they found, which I believe had been removed by the final US version. Hold on, let's take a little break right here. And we'll pop in here and see what's in this room. Aha! Here's another infamous boss of Monster Party. Dance. Jump. They say something different in the US version. I'm trying to remember what it is that they say. But almost all the dialogue is different in the US version. But check this out. So you'd think, oh, you attack these guys. In the US version, though, that's actually the exact wrong thing to do. This is just a kind of a fun boss. You just have to watch them dance. When you let them complete their dance routine, you win. You can't actually interact with them at all in the Japanese version, which I don't know if that was by intention or because they're somewhat unfinished. In the US version, though, you can actually hit them and they'll disintegrate, and then you have to start over, like their routine starts over from the beginning. They changed the US version by changing the some of the color palettes, like I think the lanterns and the mountains in the background are a different color in the US version. There's a different number of zombies. I think there's one less zombie in the US version, And then, of course, you can take damage from them, and they take, damage from you, if you will, in the sense that, it restarts their routine if you hit them. But, yeah, that's basically all there is to them in the Japanese prototype version. Oh, yeah, but the other thing that I was going to talk about a second ago, as far as I know, it's been removed in the US version, but there are graphics present in the Japanese prototype version that are basically like parodies of different power-ups from games like I think it's like Gradius and R-Type and stuff like that. Games that were kind of like, or at least, series that were popular during the time. That's kind of a jerk move. They were popular during the time that Monster Party came out. And it was a parody not only of the power-ups from those games, but it was a whole power-up system that the game was originally supposed to utilize. Oh, that sucks. Ouch. Accidentally hit down. Didn't mean to do that. So yeah, the game was going to have you power up, and I believe the way that it was supposed to work was when you're in Varyu form, his shots would upgrade from the single shot to like double shot and arcing shot and stuff like that. Just like you saw, now all of a sudden Varyu's shots are double shot with an arc. So those power-ups, I think, were originally supposed to upgrade his shots. So yes, the remnants of that once intended upgrade system are still floating around in the Japanese ROM. I can't decide if I would have liked it better that way, but I think that I would have. I'm angry. This guy, I think, was slightly modified for the US version. I think they changed his second face. I think that was all they changed on him, though. Yeah, I think they made his second face less Japanese looking. I think that's about it, really. Let's see if I can beat him by just reflecting projectiles at him. Oh yeah, that was pretty easy. Wow. We are done for the bosses on this stage. That's pretty wild, huh? Yeah, they changed up that last boss a little bit to distance association with a similar character called, if I'm pronouncing it right, Daimajin. I guess they slightly touched up the arms on the US version boss as well. But no. I had to know. I just had to know. Tell you what, though. Let's restart real quick. See if this guy has anything to offer. Hey, how you doing? Hi there. I see you again. That's the thing that sucks. If you get too close to him, you get hit, but you don't get to hit him as much unless you sneak up on him, so. Come on now. You're wasting our time here, pal. And of course he drops nothing. Okay, might as well not waste our time and health on him. Oh great, another one of these guys. That's kind of cheap. This is almost definitely an empty room, but we're going to check it out. Just in case. Okay. And this is probably a good stopping point.